My name is Ray Cinti, and my occupation is biology teacher here at Convent of the Sacred Heart. Flipped classroom is basically taking what is traditionally subject matter content delivery in class. So I've taken that content teacher delivered material and I've created a video, or creating many videos on that subject, whatever it is, and then uploading those videos, those content videos to YouTube, and students can watch it remotely. And so they don't have to be in class doing that. And so the the cool thing about that flip, the reason it's called flip is because normally you'd be doing your homework, in other words, working on some problems. And then in class you'd have lecture. But now they're doing lecture at home, so they're taking notes, and then when they come to class, then we can start asking some more profound questions. Like, in other words, like really get an authentic discussion going, where students are actively participating. They have real questions, not like the way it was normally, like what, or what was that, or can you explain that again? But they're asking questions about the subject matter because they've had an opportunity to digest it and to think about it. Moreover, what's really happening in class is we're spending almost every period in the lab. So that's the greatest thing that I've witnessed. This is a change from what it used to be, like decades. I'm seeing students becoming so much more proficient and confident in the lab simply because we're devoting more time to it. So the things that things that I've always wanted to do was to not only make the students like be proficient in terms of lab skills, which is what the flipped class is facilitating, but it's making their confidence go up, their enjoyment go up, and their discovery go up, and the inquiry go up, and love go up, and they're becoming the biologist, they're becoming the scientist, not the student. They respond the way I would hope that they would. They see that I'm spending time preparing the video, that I've incorporated, the methodology and pedagogy behind it with them. So they buy into it. So they're like, yeah, I'll do that. I'll watch that video. That was helpful. I could pause the video. I could take notes more easily. I see it. I'm coming to class. I'm participating more. I'm engaged more. I'm doing more. It's all good. But, and you're like, well, therefore you would the answer to the question is positive review. But I sense that it's going well. And I'm basing that upon years of experience.
Test scores?
Yeah, no, test scores are rising. But more importantly, other things are going up. Like, again, their confidence is going up. And that's way more valuable. Learning actually is a contemplative, individual moment where you're coming to grips with something. But when you're actually just watching the video by yourself, you're kind of engaged, like really dialed in. You're kind of on task. And you're doing it when you're ready. So in other words, like maybe they come home from, like a sport and they've taken a shower, they have dinner, and they're like, okay, now I'm ready to get into this. As opposed to coming in fleetingly from another class and they're like, all right, I'll just sit here and take some notes, but I'm not really into it. I almost feel sad. I'm thinking, gee, all those years in the past, and I'm so proud of the students, but all those years of having these great minds in the room and never really tapping into it, never giving them a chance to discuss the material. I've always wanted to do that. And of course we have discussion, but never like it is now. Students are really coming out. And the technology just wasn't there to make it happen, and it's here. The school's been ultimately very supportive. It provides the technology to do so. So they provide us with a laptop. They provide us with these pads or tablets that we can animate the videos. They provide microphones and probably any other support necessary. What I mean by any other, they've also supplied us, giving us the opportunity to do professional development. So we were able to attend conferences where I've actually sat in on different presentations on flipped teaching. They've even brought in speakers to the campus in order to talk about this. From what I've read about whether or not it's more valuable for the actual teacher themselves to create the video, because the truth is there's a couple of times where I'll assign them to watch either a Khan video that I think is particularly good or another teacher. I'll have them watch that. And what's fascinating is the students will say that they didn't like that as much. There's something about your own teacher, whether it be like, even if it's a poor presentation, it's their own teacher giving it. There's like a connection being made. And so I feel though they're better videos out there, I think me explaining it to them, doing it myself, although that being said, what you said is how much time is this, and there's a lot of commitment. Yeah. Anything that's valuable is a lot of work. You cannot hike downhill to see the great view. You hike uphill. I was explaining this to our choir director, who's great, and so he came in one day and he's like, "What's going on? What's the mic all about?" And I said, guess what? Making these videos. He's like, "Yeah, I spend half the time in choir going over the music and showing them the key signature and the whatever." And I said, you know what you could do? You could just simply like go over this. You can animate it, watch the, make sure you take the second ending and the coda, and then they'll watch that and you come in and then just sing." He's like, "Wow, that's great." And then he said, I'll never forget this. He's like, "But that sounds like a lot of work." And I was like, yeah, totally. It's a lot of work. And that was a real moment for me because I get so like dig deep, ride the bike for hours, go the distance, work. Maybe a sensible teacher who has other things going on in their life might want to incrementally add it, and they don't have to be so long. That's a whole nother topic. But the basic principle is good. I don't know that it can even be debated. I'm so like fond of this thing because it's basically effective. There's really no way of going back. I mean, the technology is not just for the sake of, look, you could do it, but it's really pedagogically sound. It's like, it's hard, it's leveraging, it's the beauty of all things that we're learning in our program, which is the proper use of digital media to enhance learning. It's awesome. And so because it's so awesome, I don't mind working. I don't mind the sweat when I climb to the top of Half Dome. I don't mind. To me, that exhaustion and the sweat just makes me enjoy it that much more. That's what it's all about.
And you get the bigger payout.
And you get the better payout. You get the bigger view, and it's awesome. It's awesome.